Now, we all know that investing in real estate is one of the most preferred ways to build wealth and equity. But if you decide to invest in Israeli real estate, you should know the differences in the types of investments that you're looking at. That way, you can really define yourself as an investor. So to help, we invited Eyal Katz, founder and owner of the Sky View, to the studio. Thank you so much for being here, Eyal. But what do you mean by defining yourself as an investor?
First of all, pleasure being here again. Thank you. There's a few types of investments, but before I get into it, I want to tell people what they need to look for before they get themselves into an investment. Okay, the first thing, check the property tax. We can take the same flat and we have two different customers. They're going to have different property tax on the same property. It depends if you're Israeli resident, if you're a non-Israeli resident, if this is your only flat, or maybe this is your second flat. And the property tax can go between 0%, 3.5%, 8%, and even go up to 10%. Wow. So if you have 8 or 10% property tax, that changes the whole deal. Second thing, do you need a mortgage? And if you do need a mortgage, is the bank willing to give you that mortgage? And if he is willing to give it to you, in what interest is going to give you that loan? The third thing, check if there's a tel השבחה. And if there is a tel השבחה, projection levy.
Projection, okay.
Yeah, projection levy. So who's going to pay it? Is the owner going to pay it? Do you need to pay it? Maybe it's 50-50. So check those things out before getting into an investment.
All right, so what types of investors do you meet then?
In most cases, we meet three types of investors. The first one is looking to do a flip. He wants to buy the flat below market prices, renovate, and then sell it for profit. He's looking to do that between 1 to 2 years from the day he bought it. The second kind of investors I meet is people who look for entrance. They know which city they want to buy the flat, and now it doesn't really matter which street, if it's on Ben Yehuda or even Gvirol Street, or if it's the first floor or third floor. They're looking the best return on money they can have, the best interest. And the third type is people that are looking to invest in developing neighborhoods. Let's take, for example, downtown Haifa or Nווה, שאנן, Tel Aviv.
Sure.
So that's like the three types of investors I meet.
All right, now you mentioned cities and regions that are good for investment. Why are these places like Nווה, שאנן, and Tel Aviv considered, particularly hot?
I can tell you, first of all, it's not easy to invest in developing neighborhoods. It's risky. And I can tell you, 13 years ago, I did a tour in downtown Haifa. You can see buildings, 4 floors buildings, prices around $150,000. You can buy the whole building.
Wow.
Today, in that price, you can buy maybe a 50-meter flat.
Right.
Nווה, שאנן, 12, 13 years ago, people will beg you to buy their flat. Today, you won't find a decent property for sale in that area. And if you do, prices are really high.
Wow. All right. Well, it sounds like, you gave us some tips here to know what you're looking for before you, and do your research before you invest. Eyal, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.